Hey, how you doing, man? I'm Nick Castle.
Hey, this is PJ Souls.
Hi, it's Scout Compton from the Halloween franchise.
You are totally watching Death Curse Society.
Death Curse Society.
Death Curse Society.
Rock and roll! Just in the middle of a dream, I was kissing Valentino by a crystal blue Italian stream. But I can't be late, 'cause then I guess I just won't get paid. These are the days when you wish your bed was already made. It's just another manic Monday. It was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. I don't have to run day. It's just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. It's just another manic Monday.
What is good God? What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another Monday Maniacs from Death Curse Society. I'm Red Crank. That's the Colonel, FaZe, and whoever the hell that creepy guy is.
I don't know who he is.
No, I'm gonna do this mime shit.
I couldn't find the Michael Myers mask, so I had to improvise.
Well, yeah, improvise like with 5 seconds left before the countdown was done. I see you like ducking down. I'm like, Jesus Christ, why is he doing this now?
I couldn't be like, hey, I can still see the top of your head.
I know, I couldn't get any lower, dude. I was roofing all fucking day. I'm sore as a bitch. Trick or Treat Studios. I don't know if they still sell them, but if you're looking for your 6-year-old Michael Myers Halloween mask, that's where you find it.
There we go. Very nice. Very appropriate also for tonight, because we are going to be talking Halloween, original versus remake. John Carpenter versus Rob Zombie. We may delve slightly into the sequels of both, but not too much. Just for continuity's sake. Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
All right. I was unprepared for the sequels. I only watched these two.
Well, you know the sequels.
I do.
Yeah.
So. I honestly really didn't need to rewatch the first one. I've seen it 1,000 fucking times.
I probably didn't either, but it was time. It was time to at least rewatch Zombies. I'll say that much.
Yes.
I haven't spent as much time with those that I have 78, 81. So I am appreciative of the time I got to spend with those in a way, sort of. They made my anger rise up a little bit. No, we'll see. I may be a little bit more relaxed about Zombies version now. We'll see.
Well, that's
go ahead, Zag.
That's something that occurred to me. I'd say the last decade, I've watched like AMC's version of Rob Zombie's Halloween. You know what I mean? It's like, so it's not quite right. So today I busted out the director's cut and watched it, and I have some thoughts.
No.
Attention, Death Curse Society viewers. Zigzag has thoughts.
Yes.
All right.
We will forget them before we get started. I'm just going to say, bold prediction. I feel like I'm going to be on an island by myself majority of the night.
I don't know about that.
2 weeks ago, that would have been a pretty safe fucking bet.
That would have been a pretty safe fucking bet, yeah. But yeah, but get the life raft ready, because
all right.
Yeah, I don't know.
I got my Spider-Man floaties right over here.
I may need them because I'm not a very good swimmer.
I can't swim at all, so.
And that's not a joke. All right, folks, let's see who's in the room. Goodness, you guys always go. I love the fact though that you guys are talking to each other and checking in and saying hey. I do love that. Man. Yeah, it's the society. Bill's here, Lorena. Luke's in the house. Already with a bold prediction there. There will be a lot of comments on this video.
Probably. This should be fun.
I love the generic.
Let's see if we can break. What was the record last week? 440 or 450 something?
Well, I mean, no, they were kind of yelling every time that we said smile, so that kind of added 180 or so.
Don't start that again.
Right.
We're not doing that again, hopefully.
Grizzly's here. Gina's in the house.
Motherfuckers tonight if they start that.
at least giving them a timeout or whatever. Tarek's here. Luke's here. Oh, I already mentioned Luke. Tommy Click, what's up, Tommy?
Tommy, happy Halloween, buddy.
Paul is here. Patricia, BD. Yeah. BD has a lot to say.
Halloween.
Oh boy, that could be dangerous. Gory Tiger's here.
Yeah, I think he's not too much of a Rob Zombie supporter.
Not on the Rob Zombie wagon,
if I'm recalling correctly.
There's Kristen. What's up, Kristen? James is here, old buddy. Joshua's in the house. Bethany's here. Bethany, by the way, condolences.
Yes.
From all of us. If you know, you know. Sue, or Grandma's in the house. Kiara.
On her new PC.
That's cute. Hi, Pookies.
Did you ever figure out what's going on with your Fright at the Falls ticket?
Well, it's over now.
That was perplexing to me.
Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, the guys like your mask, by the way, Ziggy. I think I've gotten to everybody. Said hello. I could be wrong.
Hello.
If I've
Bethany, I don't know.
There's BK. Yeah. We just you smoke too.
A lot of people. Yeah. There's a lot of people.
We literally just said condolences to Bethany. So
yes,
right, you did. I'm losing my mind here.
You stoned pelican. What the fuck?
Yeah, we're 10 minutes in. We can say fuck now. Even though I think we already did.
10-minute mark. It's
I think we already did, but that's all right.
It was 10 minutes on the nose before I dropped my first one.
Okay, I'm ready.
Any preemptive stuff we need to get into before we get rolling, or do we just jump? Well, besides the business, but
right.
Nah,
I say we just jump right in. Yeah. Happy Halloween.
It's Halloween,
We'll talk about everyone's plans for Halloween at the end of the show.
We'll wrap it up with that.
Yeah. All right. Before we get started, of course, we got to thank our members. Thanks to one of these days, I'm going to realign this where it doesn't cover Phase Up. I swear to God. But for now, hey, Phase. Bye, Phase. All right. Thanks to our members, our final girls and guys.
Amy Steele is a nice, you know what I mean?
Hey,
pretty good stand-in.
Damn Skippy. Thanks to our final girls and guys, Christy, Faze, Lorena, BD, Alex, and Robert, our Crazy Ralphs, Bell's Fancy Creations, Dr. Smiley, Raymond, and the whole damn enchilada pod. And, of course, our camp counselors, Adam, Corey, Christy, Luke, Jimmy and Rachel, Stacy Lynn, Orlando, Chuck Schick, Dave, and Patricia, Kristen, and JJ.
I'm going to start calling JJ Double J.
Double J?
Oh, my God.
Exactly. Literally the only one that looks my reference.
If you want to become a member and support the DCS, head on over to deathcursesociety.com. Check out the membership page and select a tier. And we appreciate it. We know how hard you work for that extra money. And if you can slide some our way, we greatly appreciate it. Yeah. And, of course, thanks to our associate producer, Faze. Faze, when was the first time you saw Rob Zombie's Halloween? Did you see it before the OG?
No, I did see the OG first, but I did not watch it in 2007. God, how old was I? I was like 15, so that would have been, I don't want to do any math right now, but it's definitely way after 2007. I would have been 10 when Rob Zombies came out, so I definitely didn't see it then.
Okay, all right.
My initial thoughts when I was a teenager were not very good. They've improved since then. We'll kind of get into that as we go.
Yeah. We'll see how that is. And guys, if we need this for any damn reason,
Put that away.
yeah,
Just go watch them. If you
go
haven't
watch
seen
them. They're available.
Everybody's here too. Like everybody loves Halloween. Everyone likes to talk about Halloween. It's always a hot topic, no matter what the context. And you're proving it tonight. Here comes everybody. So welcome everybody.
If you haven't seen it by now, go fuck yourself. Like we're going to talk about it. So sorry, Tarek. By the way, because I know he hasn't seen Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Oh, Tarek hasn't? Oh,
Really?
Interesting.
Tarek. Well, that's
it's not required. I
I
mean,
understand.
maybe we'll get you interested.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Let's just jump into it. I had a couple of options of how I wanted to start this. So we just want to jump into like the opening scene of both movies and go from there, or do we want to talk about the eras that they were released in and what was going on in horror at the time of their release? You guys have an option?
The second one almost sounds like a better starting point.
Yeah, it's more interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, 1978, John Carpenter and a ragtag group of filmmakers get together to put a new twist on the horror franchise, or on the horror genre. So, 2007 rolls around. Rob Zombie is offered the opportunity. Ziggy, you were alive back then, so tell us what the 70s were like. Thank you for falling for my setup. That was the entire reason.
It's brilliant.
So,
So,
there you
here
go. There we go.
Yeah, man, the 70s were much different than 2007, of course. But I mean, here's the thing. You had already had like Psycho to kind of fuck everybody up beforehand. So this kind of thing, Halloween did come along and shake up the map for sure. I mean, but it set a standard for what was to become the slasher of the 80s, and
well, Sean Cunningham even said when he was doing Friday the 13th, was trying to rip off Halloween.
From the horse's mouth himself, he's like, look, we need to capitalize on this heat that this independent movie got, and look they made millions off of nothing, off of $300,000. And so, yeah, the crowd was a little more impressionable back then, of course. So I wonder if Halloween would be as renowned and as accepted if it like kind of were to come out in a more modern time, like now, with a more desensitized public. I wonder, but at the time,
even the 78. Is that what you mean?
I mean, yeah. If it were to be, if that something like that somehow slipped through the cracks, and they just made this perfect movie a little later, like 20 years later, let's say.
Okay.
And I don't know, but I'm glad it came out when it did, because it really, my story. I was all excited to go see Alligator when it came out. And this double feature particularly had this other film I'd never heard of before called Halloween. It was in its first re-release with Alligator, this double feature. And Halloween played first. I didn't give a fuck about Alligator after watching Halloween. I was fucked up. That music and that mask stayed with me to this day. So, I mean, that's that, Now, that's the 70s. I don't know, 2007.
Right. So what was going on, Colonel? 2007, when Rob Zombie got the chance to do his take on it. What was going on in the horror world then?
Let's be honest, as people call it, torture porn. People, as the height of torture porn. I hate that fucking term.
Saw, Hostel.
Like, the more gore, the better. I think it was like a resurgence of gore there for a while. Because you got to think, here we are 4 years into a war. The economy's about to fall to shit. Like, it's just wasn't the best of times. Let's just say that. And I think just people were ready for I should say the studios thought people were more ready for a more violent Halloween film. And who was the hot director at the time to do it? Rob Zombie.
Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of the horrors that was coming out during that time frame, you had some of the Scream sequels, you had some, House of Wax around that time, like 2005 or so, something like that. You had a lot of polished, almost like MTV style, horror movies. Now, Rob Zombie, of course, not necessarily, although he was featured on MTV quite a bit, not necessarily the MTV icon that we think of when we think of MTV. So it was an interesting choice, but it worked in a way. Now, clearly, fans of the 78 at the time in 2007 trashed the Rob Zombie's first one.
Mostly
Not all
the fans from the 78, like the 78 film.
I would say a high percentage.
Had a pretty good box office, man.
Well, yeah, but I
know that doesn't. It's not indicative of a well-made film, but
no. So, all right, Colonel. Counterpoint. What was the general consensus back then?
Well, it's generational. I mean,
sure.
I grew up watching obviously the 78 Halloween. This came out. I was 20, about to be 21 at the end of the year. I was the target audience for this Halloween movie. I was one of the few people that wanted a more violent Michael Myers. Give me a little bit of backstory in a Michael Myers. This is where, like, I feel like I'm throwing Zag under the bus, but not meaning to. People, Zag, that age, 10 years older or so. Like today, they weren't ready for it. They didn't want it. It don't need remade, which honestly, it really fucking didn't.
No.
They were going to die on the hill. Like, I'm dying. Like, say they remake the Monster Squad. I'm going to die on the hill. Like, you shouldn't fucking remake that. It's perfect. That's just how they were. It's just what people grew up with. I was a little bit younger, a little more impressionable, a little more open-minded to it.
All right.
I don't
go
know.
ahead. Go ahead.
I felt like this was a untouchable movie. This was one of those ones that couldn't ever be remade. I mean, I think a lot of people were on that boat at that time before it came out, when it was announced.
Yeah.
I was on the fucking edge, man, going shit.
I was on that boat.
If anybody could do it, I don't know. Maybe he'll do something here that'll be special, but...
Well, and I wasn't a big fan of Zombie, some of his early stuff before he even got to Halloween, because he had done House and Devil's Rejects before Halloween, right?
Both were fucking phenomenal. So
I'm more in line with them a little bit now, but I wasn't a big fan when they first came out.
Devil's there's magic there. House.
Come on, it's a Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, but
that's what I'm saying, man. It's just not, I don't. It's original, but it's really not. I mean.
All right. FaZe, as the youngin of the group, were you disappointed in Rob Zombies when you first saw it?
When I first saw it, I really hated it.
Okay.
I really did not like it. Like, I wanted basically a modernized copy and paste of the original, which is definitely not what it was.
No.
But I just watched it an hour ago, which is my second time watching it ever, and it's definitely warmed on me in like 10 years. I definitely appreciate it a lot more right now than I did. I hated part 2 a lot more than part 1, but man, I didn't like either of them.
Which one did you watch? What version?
What do you
mean? Probably theatrical.
I never watched any director's cuts or anything.
Oh, I got a funny story about the director's cut.
Uh-oh.
Okay, since we were talking about
should I watch this director's cut?
Dude, let's just say I got it on DVD. Like I said, my mom is a huge Halloween fan. I
have it on Blu-ray. I could.
Just the original film. That's it. So I was like, hey, I got Rob Zombie's Halloween on DVD. You want me to come over? We can watch it together. She said, yeah. I was like, we'll watch the director's cut. It's gonna be more violent. Da, da, da. There's a pretty graphic grape scene, and dude, talking about feeling fucking uncomfortable. I was just sitting on the love seat like this, like, Jesus Christ, I'm watching this with my mom. Like,
That was in the cut I just watched, though. Maybe.
so
Did you ever ask for grapes again? Like, at the store?
I'm trying not to get us. You can't say that word.
Right.
So
Did I watch the director's cut then? Because that scene was
I
totally.
don't like it because in the theatrical version, they were transporting him, and that's how he escaped. Like they're getting ready for a transport. Bill Moseley's in the
I gotta
scene.
go through a couple things.
Yeah.
You know what he's talking about? The escape, and the two orderlies go in and they bring in the girl, the catatonic girl, and say, "Hey, we're gonna all have some fun. Come on, Mike." And then that is way different from the theatrical one. That's more Rob Zombie than fucking the theatrical one is for sure.
I guess I need to watch the director's cut again because
Colonel is not, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's extra. I think it's added on the disc. I don't know if that's actually the cut though, is it?
I'm pretty sure that was the cut. But I'll be honest, ever since then I've watched the theatrical version because I can't do that scene. I don't do those. I don't enjoy watching those things.
I hate it. I hate that scene too. That's a big turn off.
He takes, you know what I mean? Everybody.
No, it takes care of them, but it's so fucking uncomfortable watching it till that point. Like,
this is like I said, Rob Zombie. If anybody is causing a need for a shower after a fucking movie they made, it's him. You know,
he does that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right. How about let's compare the openings?
Yeah.
Rob Zombies gives us, as Colonel led into, the backstory of why Michael is angry, for lack of a better word. And yeah, it's a horrible, horrible upbringing. Now, I have said for the longest fucking time that, and I still do, I loathe his opening.
Wow.
I really do. I don't like that opening segment.
dude,
because it takes away the mystique and the mystery of what is Michael Myers. I don't need to give him some white trash background story to have that fear coming from him. So, and John Carpenter set it up perfectly in a 4-minute tracking shot. And it's a beautiful setup, and it guides you through. Now, granted, you couldn't have done what Rob Zombie did in the 70s. I don't think. Not quite.
No.
So, I love the opening. The opening of John Carpenter's Halloween is one of the best openings of all time.
It's also 63 compared to it's 78, isn't it, when it starts?
Right.
Rob Zombies.
Yeah.
Right.
76 to 78. I only say that based on his t-shirt.
God of Thunder is playing when they come in. So, yeah, that's right on. That is strong, too, when they do that. I'll say this, man. The first viewing of Rob Zombie's Halloween, I thought the first 45 minutes, must-see TV, 5-star material. I thought this is fucking fascinating. As dirty and disgusting and horrible as it is, I dug it. I thought this is a neat way. This guy's making this shit his own, and I appreciate it. And
fair enough.
My problem comes later. However, I have relented on that a little bit. I do see it's not as impactful as it was to me the first time I saw it. You know, and I do think it's kind of, what I mean? It's not
the dialogue, and somebody else already mentioned it. I want to say it was Luke. The dialogue is outright cringy in Rob Zombies.
Yeah.
Go sit on my pole.
But it served a fucking purpose. I mean,
I'm not just talking about that. I'm talking about the dialogue through the whole movie it's cheap.
Is this your first time watching a Rob Zombie movie? Of course not. We all know the dialogue's fucking cringy in every movie, man.
But that's the thing. John Carpenter had Deborah Hill to help him, at least with the teenage girl section of the dialogue in 78. And that absolutely helped it. Now, I don't think Rob had that help here. And everything was turned up to 11 just for shock's sake.
All right. Well, we're getting a little off topic. Not slightly. All right.
Yeah.
Since we pretty much moved on to the dialogue, I'll stick to the dialogue in the opening scene.
Okay.
Yes, it's cringy. Yes, it's trashy. But it serves the purpose of setting up the chaos that was Michael Myers' life. I mean, like Zach said, the first when it first opens up, you hear God of Thunder. There's Michael doing some fucked up shit in his Destroyer shirt. Hey, guess what? I had the same Destroyer shirt when I was about the same age. Like, it was the shit to me. I was like, yes. Yeah, Mike's fucking headbanger. I like this. But like I said, it served the purpose. I mean, all right, we're comparing apples to oranges all fucking night. All right. Same title, two totally different movies.
I'm aware.
Zach said it great. Rob Zombie made it his own. He based this reality in reality somewhat. I mean, they even go over the points of here's the check marks, someone the likelihood of being a serial killer. It was more based in reality, where Halloween, part of the original, the part that I like about it is you don't need that reality. Mm-hmm. You just go for the fucking ride. It's just by fucking chance. Here you go. Like, that's why I'm looking forward to this one. The comparing, like, to me, they're both great fucking films for totally different reasons. One is superior than the other. We'll find out at the end of the show what I think, but
true.
It's because he made it his own is why I'm more forgiving now of it, I think, because I do appreciate the effort in that. But he made mistakes because he should have just left certain scenes alone from the original. That's the mistakes.
Okay.
And ruined a character in the movie. We'll get to that later.
Yeah. Yeah, we will be comparing characters from both movies here as we go. So
ruined.
What, Colonel?
I was going to say, some of those scenes, I'm sure the studio was in his ear. Hey, you got to do that. Like,
I would imagine. And I would imagine the Accods were all up in his business about, nope, you can't do that. I bet that script had a ton of rewrites.
No, I'm sure.
So, I'm standing by it, though. I did not like the 45-minute intro of getting to know this kid. I've said this before about other movies. If it hadn't been a Halloween movie and it had a similar kind of twist, I would have excused it. There are tons of movies that clone other movies that you can get away with and just call it something else. But yeah, to be a remake of John Carpenter's Halloween and go that far bothered me. FaZe, what about you?
I mean, this is the part that really changed drastically for me was the first 45 minutes. Because when I was 15, I fucking hated it. I remember being like, God damn it, just kill your sister already. Just kill your sister. Just get to it. Just go. Come on. I almost fast forward to the movie until I'm like, all right, when's it going to kill her? When are we going to get it to the first fucking minute of the original? Because God damn it, this is taking forever. This time, I was feeling a lot more patient. I mean, I'm just like, I'm ready to watch this whole thing, which after a Google search, I realized was the director's cut. And so, I'm just relaxed and I realize this is just, Rob Zombie's interpretation. So, I'm not bothered by the original and how much he, fucked with it. I didn't mind the backstory of this kid and, his downfall to insanity. And I really liked all of the masks when they got to all that. Like, that was pretty neat. Just, I don't know. I appreciate it a lot more when you really just look at it as a different perspective or like just an alternate universe, even just not even as a remake. I don't know. It barely feels like Halloween. It's weird, but it's all right. It's all right. The white trashiness is, they kill the people that need killing, so it's all right.
Well, and the white trashiness kind of seems to be a theme in a lot of Rob Zombie's movies.
All of them but the Munsters. So
even the Munsters had a little bit of white trash in it, I thought.
not as bad.
Not
I
as
can
bad.
argue
No.
with you, yes, but
It's more tendencies than.
come on, dude. He grew up with a fucking Carney family. Like that's normal to him.
I understand that, dude. But I've been to a Carney family's wedding, and you want to talk about some of the most pompous, like nose stuck up in the air, fucking people. They have money and they show it off. I mean, I saw more like cars that I can't pronounce their fucking Italian names than I've ever seen before in my life. So, at that wedding, it was ridiculous, and yeah, I felt like an outsider, and I was, doing pretty well at that point. But goddamn. Anyway, let me look at some of these comments here. Luke says, "I'm a crank on the horrible opening scene." Bethany says, "I agree. Didn't dig the backstory. It wasn't needed."
It's where a lot of everyone is.
You guys are trying to shoehorn this into Carpenter's. You can't do that with this.
Yeah.
You gotta keep it separate, man.
Bill says he fucked up William Forsythe though, which he deserved. Yeah, he did.
That was pretty violent, dude. And just the way he stared down at him and stuff it's pretty dark, man.
Mind blown when I found out the actress who played Michael Myers' sister in that movie was young Jenny in Forrest Gump. I was like,
Yeah, Hannah Hall.
yeah, much later than I should have found that out. I was like, really?
Run, Forrest.
There we go. What's going on here? The D's here. Silent D.
Silent D.
Says, I fucking hated that family in Rob Zombie's Halloween. That family dynamic was insane. And please shut that baby up.
Dude, let me tell you something. They looped the same scream about 16 times, man.
I hate the loop, dude. Oh my God.
Dude, they played that loop probably just as much as they played Christmas music in Terrifier 3. It was constant.
Oh, it wasn't that bad, but it's
amateurish.
amateurish.
Come on.
Amateurish, man.
We were all ready to look at that baby and go,
fuck you.
Isn't that hard to get more than one baby cry for your movie? Like, what the fuck? Like, it's got to be the easiest thing to get a baby cry sound.
It was such a specific scream, though, too. I mean,
yeah.
Oh,
He didn't use audio shit to like try and change it. Like,
maybe that was his little fuck you to the studios. Just like, I'm going to use this fucking loop 16 times because they made me rewrite this scene 16 times.
Shit, maybe.
Oh, you want a baby cry? Oh, another baby cry, huh? Oh, okay. I got you. A baby cry? Let me put another baby cry.
Come on, it's even funny when the fucking boyfriend was like, shut that fucking kid up at one point.
Right.
Tarek beat me to it. I was going to say babycry.wav, but he said babycry.mp3.
Yeah. BD says that's the best thing about Rob Zombie's movie, the front story. All right. We have one on that side too.
It does it's a disservice once it actually does get to the retelling of the classic story. That we will get into.
Luke says, I like trashy shit. I really do, but it just doesn't work in the Halloween realm, in my opinion. But if people dig it, more power to them. Okay.
Yeah, I thought it worked perfect.
Maybe that's part of my issue with it. I don't know.
I don't think it worked per se. Just
well, that's all. I know, but it's opinion.
Inspired by.
Reality based.
I know families like this. It is reality based. I will say this. I know families like this living in Oklahoma. Big shock. So it still didn't do it for me. All right. I think that's all about the opening I can see.
All right. Well, since I didn't touch on the original Halloween opening real quick before we move on.
Go ahead.
Fucking perfect. There. That's it.
Yeah.
2 words. Fucking perfect.
Oh, here's one. James says, yeah, the 45-minute intro was not good.
Wow. I don't know. Like I said, okay, we're getting an original take on the material. I dig this. Let's do it.
No, and Silent D kind of agrees, maybe. Rob Zombie just took the wholesome 78 vibe and just made it current day ratchet and cringy. That was his big spin on a classic. Yeah.
Honestly, it was because I mean, it's even cringy in the '90s if you do the math. Like, this, I guess I would say the second half. But let's be honest, the last third of the movie, the final act.
Yeah.
Oh, there's another one though. Bethany says, "White trash for Myers though kind of ruined it for me."
I can't say you're wrong and stuff, but you know, this is the theme he painted for us.
Yep, and Tarek even backs me up, and that's a fact. And yes, even the Munsters had some white trash flavor in it.
Yep, some
Yeah,
inspiration.
it's like trash light. You can't compare it.
Yeah.
Like I don't believe it, but I accept it as Rob Zombie's picture, and just I leave it at that. It doesn't bother me too much, I guess.
All right. Yeah. So, oh, what's this? Luke. I guess I'll hit this now. Luke says Rob has the chops to make the biggest movie of his career, but he also needs someone to co-write with him. He was going to do a movie about some hockey team. I forget what it was called. I truly think he's a,
Street Bullies, yeah.
Oh, okay.
74 Philadelphia Flyers, 74, something like that.
Yep.
I truly think he's a talented fella. I get that filmmaking is difficult. I'm sure the studios were on his ass 24/7. Possibly, yeah.
They made a shit ton of money off that movie, so
They
They
did.
made enough to give it a sequel.
Yeah.
Well, they made enough to give. They made enough to give him a trilogy,
Yeah.
and he turned down doing the third one. And they almost went forward without him, but then nix.
All I gotta do is listen to his stories. How much of a fucking nightmare it was making Rob Zombie the Halloween 2 with the fucking studio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. We've talked about the opening. We've talked about the era of the times. I want to talk about the mood of the films next, because the mood in Carpenter's chef's kiss, baby, just put there and not shoved in your face, just there for you to take in. And of course, a lot of it has to do with the music. That we had a trivia question in New Mexico where how long did it take him to write that music? Like 6 days or something like that.
It was short. Yeah, it was
3
like
days?
or something.
4 days
Yeah.
or something like
4
that.
days, yeah. So, but he knew that music was going to save that film. Ziggy, you wrote that trivia question. Tell us a little bit more about the mood and the music of Carpenter's '78 classic.
They watched it. It just wasn't scary. It wasn't working. It did not work.
Mhm.
And he knew, though. He goes, I got this. I know what we need to do. He goes, I'm going to save this with music. And they were just all like, oh, you fucking better get on it, motherfucker, because this is bullshit, And so they got on it, man. And he knew, he already had it pictured what he was going to do. The paradiddle pattern on the classic Halloween theme. That's, and they wrote it out, dude. And they had 2 keyboards and a couple of sequencers, man, and watched the fucking movie and just played along to it. God, I wish I was a fly on the wall in that fucking room.
Oh, are you kidding me? Oh my god,
Yeah.
that would be awesome.
But it's a perfect soundtrack, and it copied and mimicked and duplicated thousands of times. And even the inspirations are always pretty fucking good. So, I mean, I always love a good Carpenter ripoff, man.
All right. Colonel, how about you?
The moods are just, again, comparing apples to fucking oranges here. The original Halloween, like I said, the music sets the fucking mood.
Mhm.
It's suspenseful the entire time, especially the music paired with, Michael just fucking stalking and like it just keeps you on the edge of your seat. Where Rob Zombie, of course, at this point, the Halloween theme's fucking set. It's just, you got to rip off the original fucking Halloween theme. And then to his credit, I think what Rob Zombie does a pretty good job is using licensed music in his films. So just hearing the licensed music in his film kind of makes it, like I said, gives it a little more reality based. But it's just chaos. You're comparing stalking to just pure fucking chaos. Those are the 2 moods. Like just
I don't know though.
Boom.
I don't know though, because there was some stalking elements, even in Zombies.
You
Halloween.
had stalking
Some.
of making a Halloween film. Let's be honest.
And I will say this, even as the young kid, Dave Parrish, he even had some stalking elements that I
Yes,
like.
but-
That one shot right before he kills the bully, and the bully's walking down like between the trees or whatever, but you can see Dag at the end of that row of trees, just waiting for him. You know.
Yeah, but think like the original '78 film. How long does Michael fucking stalk? Laurie and everybody. It's just a slow fucking stalk.
Yeah.
Yes,
40,
and Rob
30,
Zombie
40 minutes.
stalks, but he strikes faster if it makes sense. I know he just strikes fast in the original Halloween, but like take the scene with Dee Wallace when he's looking for Laurie.
Mhm.
She's just chilling on the porch. Boom, right in the fucking house, like a fucking rattlesnake. It's just chaos. It's chaotic. It's just totally different vibe, even with the stalking. If that makes sense.
There's several moments though where he's like in the background or behind somebody. And I agree with you. He does strike a lot faster, more like a rattlesnake. But like the moment where he's behind the girl, Lindsay, at that one point when Annie is telling her, "Hey, get ready. We're going to go over to your boyfriend Tommy Doyle's house." She's like, "Okay," and then he's just looming behind her. That's a chilling scene from Rob Zombies at least, but the mood in the '78, like I said, was just great. The mood in 2007, chaos is a good way to put it. Yeah, I'll go with you on that. Ziggy, what about you? What do you think?
Just Michael Myers is such a different force in Zombies. You know what I mean? He's not so subtle. And he is, but he's 300 fucking pounds and 6'5". You know what I mean? That's a little bit different than what we got in Carpenter's, where you got a 6-foot guy and it's 150 pounds, 160 maybe. Looks like a mental patient to me. Somebody that's just kind of sits there catatonically. I believe more the Carpenter version, as opposed to the mask making 300-pound eating very well in Smith's Grove, man. They must have a nice menu there.
Yeah, that boy didn't even know when he was a kid.
Nice gym too.
No kidding. Strong ass.
It's all right, man, because I get. Boy, it really helped watching this just a couple hours ago. I get what they wanted with that and why he went this way with it. He wanted Michael to be, in this reality-based world, a force, not where Michael Myers became supernatural. I mean, he's kind of in the first one. He's a man. You would say, right? It's. I would say that's the most regular world one there is. Carpenter's,
In '78, yeah.
I mean, he could take a beating, but yeah.
This is why the shit works so good, because that was any street, any town, man. This shit could have happened, and it just worked. But yeah, I don't know. Chaos. Yeah, I guess chaos is it, man. Chaos is the fucking word for zombies. It's just he's coming at you like a bull, and get out of the way, and hopefully you don't get gored on the run by,
Baze, any thoughts to add on the two moods? Just the chilling versus chaos.
I mean, I can't say anything more on the soundtrack of the original. I will say on Rob Zombies, just I don't really agree with Colonel with the good use of copyright material. I mean, he did "Don't Fear the Reaper" twice, which is like one of the most popular songs from the 80s, 90s, and just every poll was just so basic, so like radio most popular. Just
if you want to,
I don't know.
I mean, if you want to reach a wide audience, you go for popular,
and that's fair. But like,
and
I love Blue Oyster Cult and I love Don't Fear the Reaper, but it's just like it's in every fucking movie,
and in the original Halloween as well when they're driving.
You have to.
Yes,
put it
not twice.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I can agree with you about not using it twice. Yes, but I mean that one he had to put in.
Had to tribute it.
I will say though that he did use a Tom Sawyer from Rush, which is nice, even if that is their most popular poll as well. It's still fun having Rush be represented.
Well, we had Love Hurts.
Yeah.
You had God of Thunder.
God of Thunder.
So you had Tom Sawyer. Don't Fear the Reaper.
All basically all pulled off the radio, but just no deep cuts. I like time films that use deep cuts for the music. Just not the same shit you hear in the radio every day. I don't know. I listen to the classic rock station every day, so I hear this music a lot.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, but not everybody's like a music nerd. Like to me, you want to reach a wider audience, you play the popular.
That's fair.
That's all.
We also had Baby I Love Your Way, Peter Frampton. We also had Let It Ride by Bachman Turner Overdrive.
Look at Ziggy pulling up a soundtrack.
Only Women Bleed, Alice Cooper. I mean, that's a little on the nose. I mean, but you know what I mean. And then Halloween 2 by the Misfits.
All right.
So there's your Rob Zombie selections.
Well, we've kind of. I think we've got to go here now. Nick Castle's Michael Myers or Shape versus Tyler Maine's The Shape. Colonel?
Again, like I said, this is just
apples and oranges.
Apples and oranges. Like that's what I'm saying. It's two totally different films. It's not as easy as like the Nightmare on Elm Street original and the remake, where they try to make them similar. These are two totally different films. Of course, the edge is definitely going to go to Nick Castle in The Shape. I mean, who the fuck? There was no fucking he just did what John told him to do. There wasn't no blueprint. So even Rob Zombies, you got the blueprint. We already mentioned it with the stalking. It's just you're just going to make him more violent. And it was where the original Shape was silent. This one fucking grunts. You hear the anger in his kills. So of course it's like we're comparing fast zombies to slow zombies here. Running. In my opinion, I'll take the classical slow zombies or the classical Shape over these running motherfuckers and this violent motherfucker. Both effective, but the strong silent type usually fucking wins out.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there we go. I like Tarek's comment here. And Ziggy and Colonel both now saying you can't compare the two films. Yes, you can. That's literally what we're here for.
Yes, but like I said, it's different, if that makes sense. This one's different than the other ones we've done.
You can compare them.
Unfortunately,
you have to look at them as separate entities is all. Both Halloween.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
You can't shoehorn it into any of the other's universe. It won't work that way. Ever. But I know what you're saying, though.
Yeah, I know what everybody's saying, and I'm with Zach. Obviously, me and Zach are in the same boat with this one. If you try to shoehorn them both, you're going to hate Rob Zombie's Halloween. At the end of the day, I'm going to say you're going to fucking hate it if you try to.
You're probably right. You might be right.
Right.
Oh, right. Yeah, of course, Nick Castle, I thought, did a tremendous job. Silent performance, besides the breathing.
Which was fucking fantastic.
Which, yeah, beautiful touch. I don't think, even if Rob Zombie had tried to emulate that, you could have gotten away with in 2007. So I think he had to make a change there. Colonel's not even listening, and I'm on his side. Asshole!
I can't. Somebody missed their chance to do the review of the movie they seen this weekend. I told them that. You're too late.
Go to bed. No, what I was saying was I don't think Rob Zombie could have emulated that or copied that from Carpenter's. I think he had to raise the bar for 2007 because, as we talked about, I think with Smile too, when you have a sequel, you got to raise the stakes. Same thing kind of goes with a remake anymore, especially when it's been 30 years or 20 years or longer for some. I don't know. I just, and I don't hate Tyler Maine's portrayal. This one I will give you. This one is two different movies in the portrayal of Michael Myers, because the character alone is, chaos versus chilling.
Sure.
I'll go with you on that one. How about that, Colonel? Compromise?
Works for me.
All right. And back to mute. Ziggy, jump in here.
Nick Castle, yeah. I mean, he had the luxury of this terrifying mask to hide behind, but the mannerisms, the smoothness of it that he did, and the stoic, just, man, it just fucking still, every bit of it works. Everything he did worked. And obviously, you know, it's mimicked a bit, but Taylor Mane had to take it his own way, man. He had to go his own way with it, and he did. And I agree with you guys 100%. I think both of these guys' portrayals are pretty good. Even the mask, the changes they made, I liked the mask back then. I thought it was pretty good. You know, I know we're going to talk about that too, but as far as my Michael Myers, I'm going to go with the Nick Castle, the subtle over the brutal bull.
Of course.
Yes, you have to. I mean, I guess maybe a couple of times a year you're going to wake up and go, you know what? Give me the Mane. But every other time it's going to be the Castle, yeah.
Well, and I mean, we've met both of these guys, Nick and Tyler, several times. They're both always, most of the time, they're always very nice. There was one time where one of them wasn't very nice. Neither here nor there.
Got a little diva-ish, that's all. Wasn't Nick Castle.
It was not Nick. But no, I mean, you know,
I don't even want people thinking that.
They've gotten used to it, or they've gotten used to seeing us around now. So, I think. So yeah, they're always very nice, very cool. Still would love to sit down with Tyler though and have a conversation at a panel, or
it's gonna happen.
You know, come on the show and chat about stuff. I remember when we got at least one of the times that we got Nick Castle's autograph. We sat there and talked to him for like 30 minutes.
He's just so cool.
For some reason, you know, I think at that time, at that con, everyone had just already met him at some point, I think, because it was just nobody was coming over. Because we were ready to step aside as soon as anybody did. And then, next thing you know, I'm all looking at my watch like, what the fuck? We've been talking to this guy straight up 30 minutes, and it's he's okay with it. I mean, Carl and I had a similar experience with Tom Atkins once.
Yes.
Acting like, oh, that was hysterical with the beer and everything.
And, that's hand down is probably my favorite interaction with a celebrity ever at any con. Before I started doing this, and definitely since. So.
Don't ever offer to take a celebrity's beer from their table.
I didn't offer to take one.
He just said, you need some help drinking that beer, I'm right here. And he was like, oh, no, I'm good.
I'm good.
Should have known better.
I can't go back too far here. Tarek says, good point, Crank. It doesn't seem like a remake should raise the stakes, but seriously, that's what usually makes a remake good. Christy says, Castle had the best walk. Yes.
Certainly.
Oh, that's hands down. Let me ask you guys this too. While we got it out here, we're on these guys. Castle or Courtney? Since the one kind of copied him pretty much verbatim, you know.
Yeah, James Jude Courtney pretty much is like Castle, just 40 years older.
He is Castle.
Castle, I mean.
Yeah, I would say he just took it and watched it, and then he made it his own too. A 60-year-old Michael Myers.
He made it a little bit more brutal.
Well, in that second one, for sure.
The
fireman.
Well, no, I mean, even in the first one, you know, with the teeth and the jaw rip, and even that bathroom scene with the podcaster girl. With
he's definitely more of a taunt Michael Myers.
With Rian Reese.
Rian Reese.
Yeah. That scene, he was pretty brutal, you know. And it escalates as the movie goes on. Well, until the third one, of course. But I mean, Nick Castle, obviously, even over Courtney, because it's a copy, you know. But it's not a bad copy.
No, it's
Crank hit the nail on the head for me.
It was believable. It seemed like the same type of guy. So I appreciated that. And we got Castle in there on a couple of scenes too. That was cool.
Right. Luke says Castle does the shape perfectly. Nice guy too. He also says Tyler worked for the content of Zombie's script. And Tarek says, so both fit the script, so to speak. And BK wants to know, can we talk about Michael Myers of Decatur?
Do we have
Funny dude.
That shit is funny, man.
Still waiting on his sponsorship from Costco.
No,
Go ahead, Faze.
Like, I feel like every slasher, the original, the first actor is always the best. Is there a slasher where the original actor wasn't the best one?
Yes,
Friday the 13th, Ted White.
Yep, Ted White's the best.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I do like the different like stages of Jason in Friday, because he is kind of the, lumbering, almost clumsy at times, hillbilly in part 2. And he becomes a little bit more refined in part 3, and more stalker, more, Nick Castle, really, more of the shape in part 3. And then part 4, he's just bad to the bone.
Yeah.
The best.
That's fair. That's very fair.
So I like the evolution of that character, though. And you can yell at me about continuity and yada 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 all you want, but
you don't worry about that with Friday, man. You just don't. I don't.
Well, you got to forgive some things, man.
Yes.
It's
anyway,
like Halloween 2 when he gets his eyes shot out, both of them.
I don't know if this is I'm going to pull it up here anyway. Luke wants to know, I'm going to get hate for this, but I was never a fan of Dick Warlock's portrayal, I guess in part 2, Halloween 2. Too stiff, like a Peter North movie.
You're absolutely right, sir. And what doesn't help is the mask that sat under Deborah Hill's bed for 3 years, just absorbing cigarette smoke. So you're right, though. You are right. Something's a bit off with his take on it. Where the fuck was Nick Castle for fucking part 2?
Yeah, I know. So that like I said, I can forgive all the other, actors who played, the shape after that, because like Halloween 4, totally in the future, whatever. This shit takes place literally the same fucking night. Like you would think the movement and everything should be the same.
They should be. Yeah. Where was Nick Castle during that? Why did they have to go with?
That is a good question.
Something to ask him next time we see him. I'm surprised we don't know this. Yeah.
I bet it's in.
Probably Google it.
Didn't Rosenthal write a book too?
Probably
about Halloween 2?
Yeah, but all these guys were in the same. He might have been working on something else. Was that the same? Wait a minute. What year was that?
81.
Came out 81.
81. Yeah.
Was he working on like
Last Starfighter or something?
Last Starfighter come out right. It was 84, I thought, with that. But he was he did a couple other things too. He was probably on another project.
Well, also, you got to remember. You got the role of the shape because John's like, "Hey, you're my friend. Come on, let's do this." Like,
yeah, put this mask on. Come here. Stand right here.
Google just says he was busy starting his directing career, but that's too vague. I want a better answer.
We can
I would say Last Starfighter probably.
Maybe, yeah.
84 though, man.
That was 84?
I think so.
What was? Yeah.
Hang on, I'll pull that up.
Look him up.
Say something while I'm looking it up.
I'm getting a comment. Baby. Fuck off.
Last Starfighter.
Luke says Tony Moran is going to be at next year's Crypticon in Minnesota, and I'm not sure I want to meet that meathead. Keep in mind, I'm not sure he's as bad as some people would put him out to be. I'll put it that way. Until he starts drinking, and then all bets are fucking off. Go ahead, Ziggy.
When he's sober.
I would like to talk to him. I think we could get some. I think this is a guy that probably doesn't know when to not stop talking, so that's good for us because we're going to ask the questions he probably shouldn't ask.
Yeah, but we're not going to do like some of those podcasts did that we found when we did that whole
and
Tony
shit
Moran expose. Yeah.
No, that ain't a smear campaign. This is the place he can come and just fucking talk, man. This is like church, man.
Yeah.
Father Crank.
I would like to talk to the guy. I would like to meet the guy.
Absolutely.
We haven't had a chance. I think he's been at one convention that we were at, but I want to say he left early, didn't he?
Not me.
Something like that.
I've never seen him. Yeah, he canceled. He canceled before.
Or he canceled. Maybe that was.
He was the first celebrity I met at my very first HorrorCon with those two, with Ziggy and Colonel.
Tony Moran?
Really? Was he?
Not Tony Moran, Nick Castle.
Nick Castle.
Okay.
I was going to say, what the fuck? How come I don't remember that?
I was like, I don't remember him being there.
He was already
talking about Nick Castle there.
Luke, I say go meet him.
Tony Moran.
Yeah, I say go meet him and just hope for the best. Maybe go early.
I don't think he's drinking right now. That's why he's back on the circuit. So you'll probably be fine. At least go Friday. You should be clean.
He's not a Andrew Bernarski, so I think that guy's just been like escorted out of conventions now, like all of them.
Like, sir, you're gonna have to leave
and not come back.
I would say now that's the one I would like to meet before he gets sauced up. Like first thing go to the door, hey, and say bye.
I've really outside. We've had our one bad interaction with celebrities, and everything else has been pretty cool. Now we've got dozens of shitty IDs that we don't really use because they're unusable. But as far as meeting them, everybody's usually pretty cool.
All right. All right. So we've compared the Myers. FaZe, did you compare the Myers?
I mean, there's not much. I think I did a little bit, but I mean, just it's Castle all the way, of course. I mean, I have no hate towards,
Tyler, Maine?
Yes. I was looking at Tony Moran in the comments. Like his name's not Tony, it's Tyler. Sorry, so many names. But no hate on him. Just he was working against Rob Zombie's script for a lot of that, I guess. And just you can't beat Castle's performance as Michael Myers. You just there's no way. At this point, I don't think that a lot of that was the filmography and the music, just the whole combination of it was what made Michael Myers that character back then could never ever be repeated.
Michael Myers should thank God for Panavision and his insistence upon using it.
Yeah.
I mean, only took up half the fucking budget.
Yeah.
Right. No shit.
Can you imagine if it was a shittier shot fucking frame, though? It might not have been as epic like that. Those long shots. And God damn it, that shot, man. That main. I hope we talk about that shot when she is locked out. The
long walk across the street.
Damn it, it's so good, man. It is so good still. It is so good still, and the music just keeps. I'm listening, watching on the 4K thing now, man, and it's layering up as he's getting closer. It keeps adding. Here come the timpani, boom, boom. As every beat now, and it's just fucking sweet,
dude. Watching it on my fucking sound bar adds a whole new fucking level to it. Just watching it at home.
That's why I wanted to go to the movies again,
Yeah.
All right. We've compared the Myers. FaZe, I'm going to start with you now. How about the Lauries? Jamie Lee Curtis versus Scout Taylor Compton.
I mean, I'll just say this. Scout Taylor Compton is... they're very different. I'm not sure what word to use. Just more bubbly, bouncy, just... 100%. The voices are very different. Once again, it's very hard to compare them because they're so fucking different. But I really like them both. I mean, obviously, the OG all day. Even though if I were just comparing the actors, I prefer Scout, but that's neither here nor there. Just performance-wise, you're never going to beat that original. And, of course, poor Scout working against that fucking script.
Right.
It really hurt. I mean, she would have done a great job if she was working with a better script.
And sadly,
Phenomenal.
I think 90% of the movies she does have awful fucking scripts.
Unfortunately, yeah.
So, at least most of the ones I've seen her in.
Especially
She's good enough
recently.
to break through.
Well, her and Danielle are going to start writing their own. So
Yeah.
let's see how that goes. I'm curious to see those productions. Of course, this is Jamie Lee Curtis's first role.
First film.
First
Yeah.
film,
Yeah.
right? It has grown to an iconic status. But this is one of those moments where the movies of the time, I like both. I'm on Phase's side of this. Now, granted, you're going to give Jamie the edge, because it is such an iconic role. But I liked Scout's take on it. I really did. And this is one of those moments where I kind of wanted to bring in the sequel. I didn't care too much for, and again, this was partly on the script. I didn't care too much for Jamie Lee's take in part 2.
She's drugged out of her mind for the whole thing.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot there. There's not a whole lot of meat on the bone for her character there.
No.
They're more focused on Loomis. I feel
It's
like.
easy to go with, though.
But Rob Zombie's had some fucking meat on the bone for Scout to play with.
Sure.
And God damn.
Trauma.
She does it well.
Trauma is a bitch, and
PTSD like a motherfucker.
He was going to do some stuff like that. Unfortunately, he also wanted to do White Pony stuff too. So what are you going to do?
Yeah. Colonel?
Yeah, I can't really talk on the sequels because, like I said, I did not, especially Rob Zombie's one, because I have to watch that again if I could really comment on it. I remember enjoying Scout's performance in that for what it was. But the original, I mean, I'm with you guys. They both knocked it out of the fucking ballpark. I love that in the original Halloween. Laurie the quiet, shy kid. The typical goody two-shoes teenager, I assume, from 78. The little timid thing that has to kind of fight for her life, where I felt Laurie was a little bit more, and Rob Zombie's a little more ready for that fight. Well, she just had a tougher, I don't want to say tougher. She had more personality. I'll just say it like that. She wasn't.
Yeah, she was still kind of nerdy.
Yeah, well, of course. But, I mean, compare the two. I mean, so it's what we're doing. Two totally different characters. It's hard to explain because they are two different characters.
Yeah, I think they are.
Fuck, man. Like I said, of course, Jamie Lee Curtis gets the nod in this one. But then again, like I said, Scout did a good job with Laurie and Rob Zombie's Halloween. I think he was trying to get away from that quiet, nerdy type girl trope at this point.
Well, and I'll say Scout in Zombies version seemed a little bit more resourceful.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit, She was trying to hide a little bit more. She was trying to, there was a little bit more of that, I thought. At least different kinds of hiding, I guess. I mean, you can't just stick her in a closet and call it good, But I don't know. I thought Scout was a little bit more resourceful. So, Damon's got a good breakdown here. Scout was more record store babe. Jamie Lee was a bookworm.
That's pretty good.
That is good.
Really good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see Scout as a record store babe for sure.
Wow.
Yeah, Ziggy, jump in. Come on.
Jamie Lee Curtis, one of the original Scream Queens, and just built this into. She got how many roles that like this after playing the same type, but nerdy bookworm, just reserved, shy, and then just the strength is ripped out of her to protect these kids and becomes a hero. Rob Zombie's, I think she is nerdy and bubbly, but she's more the fight or flight. And she's a fighter. Yeah. She's clearly a fighter. So I mean, that's where I think the difference is. It's not something she had to like morph into. She had it, and it just when the switch was flipped, she was on, man. So I like them both. I like both of these Laurie Strodes for their own reasons. You know, just like you guys, exactly.
Okay. All right. BK says Curtis had a better scream, and in her voice sounded visibly shaken the last 20 minutes of the movie. Okay, yeah. I would agree with that.
Well, I would say, I mean, if you had to repeat the line, the keys in that high pitch, your voice would sound a little shaky too.
How about a demonstration, Colonel?
Yeah, what are you talking about, Colonel?
Oh my God. But if you have glasses, pull them away from your speakers because they're about to fucking pop. The keys.
Ooh.
Jesus.
I don't know how he does that.
I don't know, but it does not feel good.
It can't.
A little bit of some inside joke on that one, but we do love that line.
Well, you've probably done it live on the show for Friday the 13th.
Yeah, for the live streams.
Yeah.
All right.
Luke, probably
Luke says, last half of Zombies Halloween, Scout was on fire. Yes. And I'll say carries that over almost seamlessly into H2. I will say that.
Halloween, hands down, is the best Rob Zombie film ending, with the exception of probably The Devil's Rejects.
Whoa! We're not.
I know. I'm just saying. Listen,
son of a bitch.
I'm setting something up now. Shut the fuck up. Because because we know how it ends, you know, but someone just talked about Jamie Lee Curtis's scream. That scream, that's the only time she hits she hits the top fucking thing, and it just keeps going up there. It keeps maxing out, man, because of what just happened with that tragic fucking moment. And I love it. I love the way that one ends. So, I mean, but they talk about that scream, both of these screams. Jamie Lee Curtis, man, that thing is iconic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know that one. You could hear that anywhere. She does it in every fucking movie. Go ahead.
Right. Sorry, my finger slipped. James says, Scout was in Model House, and They Turned Us into Killers this year, but I didn't like either one. Mm-hmm. They Turned Us into Killers was absolutely dreadful.
I missed both of them.
I haven't seen Model House yet. I think it's finally on Tubi or something now, so I can probably check it out. But yeah, I don't have any high hopes for that. But she's also got she directed like an action film that is supposed to be coming out fairly soon. I don't know if it's this year or not, but I want to check that out. James, do you know what I'm talking about? If you do, throw the title in there for me if you know if you know the movie I'm talking about. Damon says Rob Zombie's Laurie was ready for anything after living in that house. Well, Scout had to fight off her mom's boyfriend. Well, keep in mind she was a baby before everybody died, so she got picked up by the Strodes, and she probably doesn't really remember that much about what Michael went through in Rob Zombie.
She wouldn't remember any of it.
Yeah.
I mean, he kissed her. He kissed her as a baby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So right before getting taken away so she would remember any of that.
Right. And of course, the boyfriend was offed in the opening, and then mom offs herself later on. So
right. She doesn't know about any of that.
No, I don't think that would be applicable.
Oh no, there's a sequel coming to They Turned Us into Killers.
Well, They Turned Us into Killers is a sequel to Room 9.
Yes. Now it's Room 9 Part 2. This is getting confusing. Bring the Law is the one you're talking about, directed by Compton, and it's in post-production.
Okay. Bring the Law?
Bring the Law.
No, that's a terrible title.
Speaking of bringing the law, we better bring in that restraining order Danielle Harris has on Red Crank here
Yeah.
I assume that's the next character we're going to talk about.
The fuck?
I'm trying to produce a little bit. We're getting way off topic, and it's 9:20.
Yes.
Actually, the next character I was going to bring up
Is Loomis?
is the Doctor himself,
Loomis.
Okay, I got you.
Donald Pleasance versus Malcolm McDowell. Colonel, start with you.
Again, not fair. So,
It really isn't, man. Like
God
that's
damn it.
so fucked.
this is where I'm like, McDowell did a good job, but he's not fucking Loomis. Donald Pleasance will be the only person that could ever pull off fucking Loomis, dude. It's just, this is one I'm like, I'm no fun because I can't. It's fucking Donald Pleasance, man. Hands down, just that fucking monologue in the house. Nothing that McDowell said in Rob Zombie's Halloween could even fucking come close to that. It's just, I mean, he had his little monologue deal, like when he's like doing that presentation, hawking his fucking book. But no, it just didn't have the same feel to it.
Mm.
So he did what he could. He wasn't bad, but he's no Loomis.
All right. Phase.
Yeah, it's just again, the original is just way too classic, way too iconic. And with Rob Zombies, you're going against a shit fucking script. I mean, especially Loomis's, right? I feel like his is some of the worst dialogue. I mean, fuck.
And just the character they turned him into. It's like,
there are a couple of moments in even the original where it's just like, why is he saying anything right now?
Right. The fucking book he put out, like, he's like, yeah, it's a masterpiece. Like that's not Loomis, but
Malcolm? No.
I appreciated the early moments where he was talking to Michael, but I don't know. The more of him you saw, the worse he kind of got. Whereas in the original, I mean, he was in such an important part of that whole fucking film, man.
Yeah, and he took the time to scare the shit out of some little kids and enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Hey, Lonnie, get your ass away from there.
Grizzly, where'd it go? There we go. Grizzly makes a good point. Tough one for the Doctor, but Malcolm, I think, is the only one that could even fill those shoes.
Sure. I mean,
We are supposed to compare.
I don't know many actors, so I'm not good at that kind of stuff. But
It's too iconic of a role, man. Like I said, it's like someone trying to replace Freddy. We've had this discussion millions times. I don't think you could do it.
I don't know. That's a good point, though. I don't know who could. Malcolm is a good pick. I'll go with that. But who else would you have picked in 2007 to play Loomis, or even now? Who would you pick now to play Loomis?
You can't. I don't think you can. Because Rob Zombie, he always liked to get those not so fresh actors anymore. He's a big horror nerd. So, of course, he's going to bring everybody from all the films he liked growing up into his movies. That was a pretty good fucking choice.
Ooh.
But it doesn't matter because you can't touch it. I'm sorry, you can't. I mean, who would play it now? Like who? Anthony Hopkins? Go ahead. Look at the motherfucker from Warm Bodies you talk about all the time. Directed by Mike Flanagan.
I got one for you for Dr. Loomis.
All right.
Brian motherfucking Cranston.
really,
Jeffrey Combs.
Good one.
I'd really dig Bryan Cranston, but I mean, and geez, even Damon saying Giancarlo Esposito. Let's just get every Breaking Bad actor to play Loomis.
There we go. D says Giancarlo Esposito.
Ooh, Patrick Stewart.
Tarek says Patrick Stewart.
Oh, okay. I'm all right. with that.
I could dig that actually.
I'm all right with that.
I
would
don't know,
understand the
that's
material.
if you think about it. Like I think he could do a really good fucking job.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. It
That's
didn't
the
matter.
deal.
It does not matter who was going to play Loomis in this movie Rob Zombie wrote, because that's just it. Rob Zombie fucked the character Loomis over in the writing.
Let's let you have the
So
floor.
dead, dude.
Yep. Go right ahead. Keep going on that.
Oh, yes. I mean, everything Loomis was, all that compassion and the things you believe that he was really trying to help this guy is gone. I mean, because he's got all the charm of a pawn shop owner in the fucking ghetto. This fucking Loomis, it's terrible. I mean, and I like Malcolm McDowell. It's not his fault.
No.
But this Loomis, and then when he comes and writes the fucking book, god damn it, man.
That's when it ruined him.
Just fucking nailed home. Like, okay, just another every bad colored, smelly Rob Zombie, stinky character. Here's another one. It's the exact same fucking thing. And it's a shame because he had a chance to do something to have stand out, maybe have a beacon of light, something, some hope. And you got a very weak. He don't want to run into Michael Myers again, man. He's scared to death of this motherfucker. So, I mean,
there are hints.
I didn't like it.
There are hints in Rob Zombie's Halloween when you first meet Loomis. You can tell he's kind of he's there for the money and the fame. He's not there for the caring of the kid.
This is what I'm saying. And he said, Malcolm McDowell said, I did not watch Halloween, any of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I took it and went in cold. Maybe he should have for this one. It might have helped a little bit to understand the psychology of it. And I don't know, maybe he could have bucked the fucking script a little bit, maybe added a little bit more to it because he is that level of actor. We know this. But fuck, man, I was disappointed with the Loomis all the way around.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Donald Pleasance.
Would you say that's the worst character in all of Rob Zombie's Halloween saga?
Yeah. It's hard to not like the guy
because
or it's hard to like the guy. Sorry.
Yeah, I even like the strip club owner in 2 a little bit better than I like this guy.
Yeah,
but that's Daniel Roebuck. So
I don't like.
Who wants to fuck Frankenstein?
Fuck. Yeah, I don't like Sam Loomis in Rob Zombie's universe.
Let's see. Can't go back. What's going on with my computer tonight? Or maybe it's StreamYard or something.
Yeah, right.
It says, bring Tom Atkins back in to play Loomis. Ignore his icon in H3. If I thought Atkins could do any acting whatsoever anymore, I would say that's probably a good call.
I'll be honest. Even in his younger days, I don't think Atkins had the acting chops to pull off Loomis. And I'm a Tom Atkins fan. I don't think he could.
That could be fun though.
It would be a lot of fun. Totally different character. Could you imagine him laying
Loomis banging Lori now?
He'd be laying down he'd be picking up the fucking hot single moms on the street.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Bacon. Bring me back some Miller Lite.
No.
So wait, your mom is a stripper at the Rabbit in Red? I'll have to go and talk to her for a little bit. Hey, we're gonna need a conference here, Miss Myers. God damn it! All right, what's going on here? Anything else to add on Loomis?
Loomis, no,
I think we're good.
Donald Pleasance. That's how you do Loomis.
That is how you do Loomis.
Shit, even the guy in the fucking David Gordon Green sequels was better than the Loomis in the fucking Zombie, man.
Yeah. All right. All right. Annie and Linda. PJ Souls and Nancy Loomis in 78, and then also played by Christina Klebe, and of course the wonderful Danielle Harris in 2007. Faze, I'll start with you.
Could you repeat the names again?
Linda and Annie, the two friends of Lori.
Right.
So,
I mean, again, just murdered by the same exact fucking deal, man. Just can't beat the classic. Murdered by the dialogue by Zombie. I mean, I can't say. I mean, didn't Carpenter have somebody help him with the
Deborah Hill
dialogue?
Yeah. Deborah Hill wrote it.
Deborah Hill. Yeah, Rob Zombie needed more than like one person of help, but somebody would have,
Sherry Moon helped him.
Just bad scripting fucked him, but again,
Did
the
she?
acting wasn't terrible.
Maybe Rob Zombie's not as white trash as we think. Maybe it's Sherry.
That guy's just
A victim of
far
circumstance.
gone. Yeah, he's deep in it, so he can't see.
Good God.
It's like, you know what would be great?
You know what would be great if you were a stripper in this movie. All right. Calm down now. Lorena says, Danielle Harris, watch Crank drool. I'm doing fine right now. Everybody chill. Luke says, PJ Souls is a legend, though. Straight up awesome.
God,
and well, both of them, PJ and Danielle, two of the sweetest people you'll ever meet.
Yeah. I like PJ Souls, man. She was real nice to us. A couple of times. Not like that.
Okay. Nope, she's not done yet. I got to go back to mute.
Well, I'm throwing it to you, Colonel. So, no?
Throw it over here.
You got some action going on over there?
Unless you guys want to hear my cat coughing up a fucking hairball right now.
Oh, hell yeah.
Put the camera on it immediately.
No. But I am going to clean this up before it sets in my carpet. So, no, go to Zag. I'll be back.
Go, Ziggy.
How do we follow that? Yeah, Annie and Linda, I love them. I mean, they have such a great chemistry in the first one. They have a great chemistry in the second one with the remake. It's a different one, though. You know, it's more,
And it's
but
different.
it's believable both ways. But I mean, come on, Linda, you asshole. No, I mean, they're just fucking. They're walking home and everything, the whole deal, and just a little minute discussions like, oh shit, I forgot my book. So who cares? I always forget my chemistry book and my math book.
History.
Yeah. I always forget all my books. Who needs books anyway? Who cares if you have your books or not? You know, and it's a little more raw, of course. Rob Zombie-fied conversation of what he thinks girls that age might be saying. So it's a little.
And in 2007, maybe he's right. I don't fucking know.
It's not that outrageous. I mean, it does fit the times. So, and it's a Rob Zombie movie. We know already by now, but there is some wild exchanges between all the characters, you know, that are involved with those characters that when they're playing. All right, Puke Boy.
Let him sit down for a minute.
Yeah,
Jesus.
But you can't touch. You know, it's so believable. Annie and Linda and Lori in Carpenter's Halloween. What?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Am I right, Colonel?
You're wrong. This is where I'm going to stick out like a sore thumb. I'm going with PJ. All right. But then I'm going with Danielle.
You thought Danielle did Annie better?
I think so. Granted, they're similar characters. I didn't like how, like, you know, my daddy's a fucking cop, okay? I didn't like that shit. I just thought Nancy Loomis's acting is so robotic compared to Danielle's. I just thought this here I'm going strictly just who I thought was a better actor, not character. I thought Danielle acted the shit out of that role.
Weren't Nancy and Carpenter dating at the time that they were shooting this movie?
Probably. I thought he was hooking up with Deborah. I don't know.
Part of it?
Probably. I don't know. I just, like I said, I'm going Danielle and PJ, so I'm taking.
Wasn't she? Wait, oh no, PJ Souls was with Dennis Quaid.
Right.
At the time. Who was
he was
almost fucking Bob.
Yeah, he was going to come in and do a role.
That would have been crazy, man.
So I want to split it up. I'm not going to pick which two I like better. I'm taking who I like from each.
I thought Danielle did great, but I like Annie's more such a dry delivery on the material. I mean, it was just all of it was like, well, I have a place for that. You know, it was always like that. And yeah, I guess you could say it was robotic, but I think it worked for the 70s. Oh, there we go. See, you mentioned Dennis Quaid, and Lorena's like, Dennis Quaid, watch Zag drool.
No.
There's a throwback.
Be fine.
Do you like that Annie survives in the Rob Zombie version?
I wouldn't say I hated it. I was okay with it. Like, all right, you know, I was okay with it. It's fine. I mean, because there were so many more extra people he killed. Now, I mean, I was still kind of disappointed he killed Joe Grizzly, bitch. Like, I wish he would have survived more than Annie. But I'm a Ken 4E fan. So.
Yes.
I think I counted 21 kills in Rob Zombies as opposed to the 5 in John Carpenter's. Not counting the 2 dogs.
A couple more, just a few.
Yeah.
Barely any blood.
Well, yeah, no blood. Yeah, one drop on her arm, and that was about it in her hand. Yeah.
John's like, come here.
I'll tell you what.
Come here. We ran out of budget. We had to use a Panavision. Don't still ketchup bottle. All right, you're good. Get in there, kid.
Get in there. We're still rolling. We got to go.
Danielle Harris, when she is wounded and trying to warn Lori, who doesn't see that Michael Myers is there yet, is heart-wrenching and awesome.
Yeah.
And I was kind of glad she...
Danielle owned H2. I thought that was some of the best acting of both movies. Some of the best acting of Danielle's career. And I've seen a lot of her shit. I don't know. Damon says Joe Grizzly deserves a spin-off movie.
That'd be cool. Just like a throwback classic 70s trucker movie. Don't even make it a horror movie. Just straight trucker movie.
It's a grindhouse. Fuck yeah.
Just a road movie.
Yep.
Just banging chicks from truck stop to truck stop.
Taco.
Lot lizards.
Where are them lot lizards?
Where's the taco?
And Lorena says, the dogs did not die and Elvis lives. I think she means the rat, Elvis.
The rat, yeah. They don't show the rat dying, so I'm cool with that.
There's a lot of blood for nothing. I mean, it could have survived.
Well,
but there's a lot of blood.
Don't go see Terrifier 3. It's all
don't. Just stay away from that. we already had that talk. I think she's staying.
London Bridge is falling down.
I wondered if you and this is a good point. Carrie, what's up, Carrie? Says Nancy looked too old to be a schoolgirl. 70s was a little bit different.
Man, she put
I
on
people in general looked older back then for their age.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 70s was a little bit different.
Yeah. When she put on that man's shirt after spilling butter all over herself.
Lindsay!
His wife was going to love that when she came home. Because, she wouldn't know. She was the one wearing it. What the fuck is this? Look, I swear I didn't do anything.
Yep. She gets killed and all. It causes a divorce at the same time.
Why do you smell like the whore of a cheerleader camp?
Why do you smell like butter?
We've compared most of the characters that I think we need to. We've compared the mood. We've basically compared the writing throughout, so I don't think we have to go that far.
Now there's
Rob.
There's one more character / actor, and we don't need to compare the two. I was going to give a special shout out to Brad Dourif as Sheriff Brackett and Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Oh God, yes.
God, awesome,
fantastic.
He is great. Better than Cyphers?
I didn't even want to compare it to, but I'm going to say yes. Like I didn't. Like here, thank you.
I'll say yes because there's a lot more to it.
Mm-hmm. So is that the one thing that we have decided as a whole was better in Rob Zombie's version than Carpenter's?
The character of Steve Brackett is better in Rob Zombie's Halloween.
All right. Put that in the bank. That's the only thing.
That's sad.
That is the only thing we've agreed on, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, maybe Danielle as Annie, but I don't know. I liked her performance a little bit better, but
I guess it's just an age thing for me. I like Nancy Lewis.
All right. Last thing I wanted to talk about was the endings of the first one. And then we may bleed a little bit into the sequels, but probably not a whole lot. But ending of John Carpenter's, Loomis shoots him, he looks down, body's gone, and he has that look of, great, this is going to go on.
Yep.
Rob Zombie's, Laurie shoots him in the fucking face and snaps.
And screams and screams and screams.
And it's a good fucking scream.
Fucking, that's what I'm saying. You're walking out of that theater like this.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I did see Rob Zombies in the theater, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I certainly
I did for sure. Certain.
Yeah. That may have actually been the first Rob Zombie film I saw. Like back then.
I liked it. I like that ending. But they're both great endings. And the other one did it right, though. Now they're showing you everywhere he fucking was, and they layer that breathing in on you. That stayed with you for fucking 2 weeks when you walked out of Halloween back then.
Well, especially because the set of John Carpenter's Halloween looked like every town, like every small town or every suburb that you've ever been to.
Those fucking lamps in the beginning when he's first going in. Everybody had those fucking things.
Rob Zombies didn't necessarily look like every town.
No.
Well, I think it did, minus the Myers house.
All right.
I mean, I think it looked more like every town than we'll say Halloween 2018. Only because, the restaurant scene and stuff to me, it kind of threw me off. And that is every town. You got your fucking, let's go to fucking Chili's for dinner as a family and da-da-da-da-da. That's the only scene where I was like, this just doesn't feel like every town. But again, I mean, I see what you're saying.
Come on in and get your $1 margarita from Applebee's.
That's right. God damn it. I don't get kicked out of Applebee's before fucking the end of October 31st. I think.
Ziggy, you want to talk about the endings, what you liked about both or what you didn't like?
Because you catch your breath for a minute in the first one, and then they just punch you right in the fucking stomach. It's outstanding. The last one is just it's a multi-car accident level of like, Jesus Christ. When that gun finally goes off and the blood hits her. Yeah, she lost her mind worse than Chris Higgins and anybody. So I mean, it's she sells it great. Because it's the one thing about Scout Taylor Compton is I do think she kind of overacted it just a hair. You know what I mean? A little bit over the top, her portrayal of it. But I still like it because of the bubbly. But I mean, man, when she hit that ending, she fucking nailed it. That
I don't know,
perfect, man. That was perfect.
I don't know. I don't know if she overdid it because, I mean, it carries over to the next one. Now, again, she doesn't have a great script in the next one, and I hate some of her fucking dialogue in Rob Zombies 2. I hate a lot of her dialogue in 2, but I like where he went with that character.
Well, the trauma thing, that was smart, I mean, that's a little more believable than just being a little bit of an alcoholic after, all these years and stuff. I mean, it's not, granted, a lot shorter amount of time, too.
Based in reality.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's only a year later when Zombies H2 picks up. If you're comparing it to H2O, that's 20 years later. So Jamie Lee, is that what you were talking about? Someone just being an alcoholic
like
after the trauma?
20 years later again, and they pretty much did the same thing.
Sort of. But I mean, she changed her name. She moved. She buried her identity. I still like H2O for weird reasons, and I don't know exactly why.
Best ending outside of the first one.
I disagree about that.
If there is no resurrection,
H2O hater, I'm not a fan of it.
If there's no resurrection, if that was the true end of Halloween, that would have been the best. If that was truly Michael Myers and she just, you know what I mean? whatever. You can say, oh, that made her go crazy, and that's what got her in the asylum for the little fucking cameo and shit. Fuck all that, man. That was fucking the way to do it. You ended that shit. You did it right. That's the point. They should have rebooted shit and started over.
FaZe, what do you think of the endings of both films?
I mean, of course, the original is just amazing. I shot him 6 times, just you can't fucking. And I'm actually surprised Rob Zombie didn't just outright copy that same exact ending. He kept it original. He kept it unique. I'll give him credit for that. It's just it goes on for a little while in Rob Zombies, I feel like. And I did just watch director's cut, so I don't know if that has a part to do with it, but it goes on and on compared to the original.
That's just Rob Zombie, man. That's every film.
That's fair enough there. That's true. His finales are fucking long and bloody. I mean, yeah, it's just that they really are so different, but it's just that the original gives you that fucking feeling. Like very eerie, very creeped out, very like, oh man, cannot wait to see a sequel. Rob Zombies, not so much.
Well, John Carpenter's natural ending and then taking it the same night for his Halloween 2, 3 years later. I thought that was a great concept. Maybe not executed as perfectly as it could have been, and it definitely not executed as perfectly as the original 78 film. But I like I kind of like where both sequels went. They just didn't pay off exactly for me. And there was even one person that commented on one of the posts I think that we put out, or one of the posts I put out about comparing Rob Zombies, that called H2 genius. And buddy, I respect. I want to sit down and talk with him a little bit more about it and see exactly what he likes about it. But I have a feeling he's probably into that white horse mythology and all that shit.
Mythology, exactly. And it's Halloween movie isn't the kind of, this isn't the place for that.
Right.
That's what I feel.
The whole behold the riders of white horse and his name is Death. Is a little, like I said, that's still too arts housey for a fucking Halloween movie, man.
I agree.
You're talking out of class.
I wish they would take all that white horse, all the ghost. Well, honestly, I wish Rob Zombie would take his wife out of pretty much every fucking movie he ever does.
Oh my God.
She is probably the third worst actress I've really ever seen in my life. Sorry, but to have multiple roles.
She's good in Halloween as Miss Myers.
She's good in the first one.
Yeah,
I can't stand her in the second one. I can't stand that whole thing in the second one.
That she don't bother me as much as she does other people. I'm not going to say she's a great actress, but at least in his first 3 films, I thought she was okay. Like after that, it's questionable. But at that point, you're used to it. It's like, she's going to be there. She's he's come to deal with it. But speaking of
her autograph,
oh yeah, I'd still get her autograph, but like on a House of 1,000 Corpses thing or something.
Yeah,
I've got that one.
You've got that Sid Haig thing. You've got to get.
Oh sure.
Yeah,
it's all 3 of them. So.
That would be cool. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Anything else that we need to compare about these two, except maybe give them a score?
Well, I would like to talk about the endings because you didn't throw it to me on that one.
Then Colonel, talk about the endings.
I mean, there's not much I can add to it. I just want to go back a little bit to just before the endings. Dude, those chase scenes are fucking so much fun. Like Zach said, I mean, in the original Halloween, it's like chase, you get a break. Chase, get a break. Which I like. One of the most terrifying scenes in fucking horror history for me. And when she's chilling, he's laying in the back, he just sits up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, still to this day, I think it's fucking terrifying. And phenomenal. As to where, like I said, the Rob Zombies ending is just fucking relentless. It's just nonstop. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Until he's done. Yeah, until he's
done. Yeah, and obviously the original Halloween is a way better ending. But Rob Zombie's Halloween ending, I think, is very satisfying. It's like,
Sure.
I'm good with this. This is a very just he's done. He's dead. There's no way he's coming back from that. It took a fucking 45 point blank to the fucking face. So, but did he really come back?
Yeah, right.
Hmm.
Some of the theory, that's all in her head, so.
The whole movie's all in her head?
Yeah.
Right.
No, I don't like that theory.
No, I don't like that theory at
Well,
all.
yeah, because you got all the fucking scenes when he's out there interacting with outside of her
people.
head. What the fuck?
Yeah.
So
I now I understand the opening scene is all in her head, but
yeah.
That,
listen, I'll say my last piece on this, and then we can put a bow on this thing.
Okay.
These are great movies. I'm just saying. I've been sitting on this for a minute, and I want to get this out.
Okay.
Just Halloween is Halloween. It's the template for the slasher entire genre, pretty much. At least put it into high gear. And Rob Zombie, when he started this, like at the first 45 minutes, is fascinating. He's making this his own until the 46th minute when he starts retelling John Carpenter's Halloween. And this is my problem with this movie, man, because you took all that shit. You've taken an hour and a half movie and cut it in half. So all those tense shots, those tense moments from Halloween that he tried to retell. This is what I mean. If he'd have just left those alone and made up his own scenarios, maybe similar to it, but just do it differently. But he tried to reshoot the same shit, and it's all rushed, and it sucks. That part sucks when they do that, Now, yes, when it gets to the ending is totally different. So, I mean, and thank God for that. But, I mean, this is where the mistake was made, trying to retell that any of the magic from that first movie was a mistake after you gave us that first 45 minutes.
See, I don't mind I like the second half of Rob Zombie's Halloween a little bit better than I do the first half. I because it feels like a more compressed, chaotic version of Carpenter's. I can
a lot more on bracket,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that. So yeah, but
Colonel's house is blowing up.
I don't know what's going on with Colonel tonight, but it's funny.
It's crazy, but I mean that's I felt that way from the first viewing, and I felt it just a few hours ago when I watched it tonight. It's just I would have just lightly tributed some of those scenes, not try to reshoot those scenes, because that's you're set up. You can't do it. You cannot do it. You can't do it like they did it back then. So this is what fucked it up for me.
And, we've talked about this before, but Gus Van Sant's remake of Psycho was just a complete, failure in every sense of the word, I think. Because they tried to do shot-by-shot remake. The only thing they really changed on that was, like, the amount of money she stole from $40,000 to $400,000 to adjust for inflation between the 60s and the 90s or whatever.
Shit.
I wasn't against that, but then after I watched it, I kind of went, "We didn't need this."
Yeah, why? It's in color. Yay! Anyway, this is a good comparison, I think. Luke says, "Carpenter's Halloween, a cinematic horror classic. Rob Zombies is an edgelord slasher for Slipknot fans."
That's not bad, actually. I like that.
All right.
Fair enough.
We're going to deal with it.
Colonel, what's going on? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. Just everybody's deciding to fucking do shit when I'm live on the air. I'm getting pissed. Ass puking, Sarge's getting there. Now the old one's like, I'm going to take a shower. Couldn't wait 10 more minutes.
Thin walls around the plumbing. Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much. Dude, it's an old house. You guys.
I know. I'm aware. All right, let's give this thing, or Colonel, chime in on what Ziggy just said, I guess.
No, fucking Ziggy nailed it. Other than, I mean, the only thing that I really have a complaint with Rob Zombie's Halloween overall, like I said, the rushed second half. It felt rushed, but this is a movie I think you guys would hate this, where I'd be okay with it being 2 hours long or a little bit longer, like most horror movies today.
Oof.
Flush that second half out a little bit more, but then again, I'm the oddball. I enjoy those long horror movies if they're done well.
I would agree with that if they took out that 45-minute first half.
Good Lord, you
Well, that's
two.
what I'm saying. I'm saying you should have stayed on that road and just did the whole thing, man, like this, and just, you know what I mean? Just all original, just everything different happens, but it just gets us to that same kind of road. I don't know, man. Maybe it would have been a little bit more. I had a little bit more something for it, but I mean, I feel the same. All these years later, I feel exactly the same, and it's a shame. You know?
Tarek, if you really have not seen Rob Zombie's Halloween, you need to watch it.
Give it a chance.
You should watch it.
Just because of the cultural differences, and
it's gonna be disappointing, absolutely. But you gotta watch it.
Listen, it's not gonna ruin the original for you at all whatsoever, because you'll see it how we see it.
All right. Phase. Score for the original, 78 version, score for Rob Zombie's remake.
The original's always been like a 9.9. I mean, I have a hard time giving anything a 10. I mean, I only really give that to very few. I mean, it's so fucking good. I have nothing bad to say about it. Rob Zombie's, I don't know. I would probably say a 6, but man, that director's cut with that fucking raunchy fucking scene, dude, that almost brings it down to a 4.5. I'll say 5. I'll say 5. That is a raunchy damn scene. And it's warmed on me since I was a teen when I hated it, but still, there's no touching the original.
Right. Grizzly, this is what I said at the beginning of the fucking show. I think Rob Zombies would have been better if it were not Halloween.
That's fair. It's very true.
Yeah, they say that about the third one too.
They did.
People have gotten over that.
A lot of people have changed their mind about that. Hey,
Most people have gotten
I
over
like Rob Zombies a little bit more than I did when it first came out. Now,
we have worse Halloween films now.
Well, that's true, but I don't hate it, and I can't necessarily say I ever hated it. I hated the opening. That's it.
Sure.
The rest of it, I can make up for. All right, Colonel, scores for both of them, please.
All right. Well, I apologize for the background noise. Yeah, the original, not much to say. 10. I never give 10s. There's very few horror movies that get a 10. The original being one of them. Classic, cinematic, fucking masterpiece, really. Can't be touched, especially for its time. Rob Zombie's Halloween. Man, if I was to rate it based on my reaction in 2007, probably an 8, 8.5. I still really enjoy this film, but it has not aged all that well, but it's still better than quite a few other Halloween movies. I'm going to give it a 7.5.
Okay. Ziggy.
Yeah. I didn't like it as much as I did now watching it today. I was like, wow. I had definitely reversed my stance a little bit on Zombies Halloween. But I still think the first 45 minutes is absolutely amazing. Just a great take on it, in my opinion. And the rushed retelling of the classic hurts this quite a bit. Like the ending a lot. 7 for Rob Zombie's Halloween. And the classic, man, I mean, just everything about it. Just why it put me on the path I'm on. Just the soundtrack, acquiring the soundtrack as a kid in various cassettes, having my crazy electronic uncle rig 2 VCRs together before anybody thought of this, to do this, because he was a TV repair guy, and dubbed a copy of Halloween for me when I was young. And which I wore out. I mean, it was absolutely, it looked black and white by the time I was done with it. The last time I watched it, it just was played out. I just love it, man. Everything about it, the way it left me feeling. Looking at it today, still when that music hits, when the light goes off, and they're taking it during that first shot, and then that's drone just stays the whole time. I can't stand it, man. It's fucking the best. It's a 10. It's a fucking 10. The only 10 I've ever given a movie, and not only that, after repeated viewings of Halloween and Dawn of the Dead, I can safely say and honestly say Halloween is number 1 for Zigzag by itself.
Ooh,
You
shit.
motherfucker. You used to be on my side by giving Dawn of the Dead. Well, again, Dawn of the Dead's my other 10. 1A, 1B. Dawn of the Dead slightly edges it out, but it's the gore, I'll be honest.
I'm going. I just man, I was capped. I sat in my chair and just watched Halloween just by myself, just right here in front of on my screen, man, and it was just fabulous. And just still, I'm like thinking, all this time fucking later, and it's still this fucking good, man. 45.
It's still this fucking good.
Still
Yeah.
this good. 10, fucking 10.
Yeah,
It deserves every 10.
I'm gonna be quick and say 10 and 7. But you don't know which one is which. So
Oh, okay. Sure.
just kidding. You do know. Yeah, dude, excellent conversation, guys.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
Halloween, yeah.
And we didn't rip each other's throats out this time.
No.
There's nothing to rip each
It's
other's
never going to
throats
happen.
about, yeah. Like, come on, like seriously. I know I'm the Rob Zombie fan of the group of us. There's no way you can say it's better than the fucking original, dude. There's no way.
No.
That's a
But
good movie, but it's not the original.
But according to the poll we have on YouTube, I will say,
Well, closer than we thought.
well, the question was, since we're debating this next Monday, which version of Halloween do you prefer? 75% said 1978's John Carpenter's Halloween. 4% said Rob Zombie's Halloween. And 21% said, I like both for their own different takes on the material.
You gave them the cop out.
You gave him a cop out because you make the options.
Yeah.
I do make the options. You goddamn right I make the options.
I don't make these polls anymore.
You could, if you have a question to throw up there, do it.
So what's the plans for Halloween this weekend, boys, or this week in a couple of days?
Well, it's kind of funny because Bronson actually asked,
"Oh shit!
Next time Halloween falls on a Monday, you guys should definitely consider doing a live stream from a Halloween party, or doing a live stream where you guys are dressed up in your costumes."
Well,
should we?
Yeah, we were gonna.
Should we go ahead and let the cat out of the bag about the plans that fell completely through?
We were all gonna be appearing in locations in our general areas. And we were going to do a live thing all night for Halloween. We had shorts planned. And we're going to do this again. We're going to get it on right when everyone can get confirmed. But then Crank's place canceled their thing. Colonel couldn't get out of his thing. FaZe has got to work. I still could go to the place I'm going to. But I mean, I'll say it. Fuck it. It's the museum, the horror museum in Monroe, Michigan. Museum of Horror, which is a pretty badass place with a bunch of crazy haunted shit in it. And a ghost walk and a ghost hunt and stuff with the curator of the museum, Nathan Thomas. So we'll see what happens next year. We got a whole year to get this shit going. And but a great idea. I mean, but we were way ahead of you until it fell through.
Dude, we were going to have such a good time with that too. Because it was going to bounce from different. It wasn't just going to be all 3 or 4 of us together at the same time. It was going to be, we're going to spend 10 or 15 minutes with Ziggy at the Haunted Museum or the Museum of Horror, Then it was going to spend 10 minutes with me at this oddball, it was, and then back and forth, amongst, then throwing some shorts in. It was going to be a lot of fucking fun, I think. But now we have 368 days to plan it instead of just, 60.
So, and like I said, Nathan over there at the museum, he's down. He said, whenever you guys want to, it's on. Say the word. Just say when. So we're good there. I'm still reserved in my place.
Yeah. Hopefully we get to do that next year. So we'll see. But what are you guys doing, Colonel? You've got traditional kid stuff to do for Halloween, I assume.
Yes, like I said, over the weekend we carved our jack-o'-lanterns. Introduced them to a little film called Trick or Treat. The oldest was not impressed. The little one loved it, but then listening to the soundtrack nonstop this month. So come Halloween, like I said, we haven't had any rain the entire month of October. We're going to get about almost an inch of rain Halloween night, so we'll be out there in our costumes with our umbrellas trick-or-treating. Yay. Like, seriously, if it fucking rained the day before, or even early in the morning, has to come through right at like 3 o'clock. Motherfucker.
It's supposed to blow over from us. Like, we're getting rain in the morning, but then by nighttime, it's supposed to be all good to go. 77 and no rain.
Like, Zach can tell you, my car is covered in fucking dust right now because we haven't had rain in like 2 months.
Yeah.
It's going to rain on fucking Halloween night, so you got to be fucking kidding me.
You know there's car washes out there, right?
Mother Nature can do it for me, and it don't cost a dime.
Acid rain. Yeah.
I like you roll your eyes. I'll be like, all right, go.
What are you doing for Halloween?
Not much. I mean, I did find out that I'm not scheduled to work. I may, since we're not doing anything, I may pick up a shift just to make some bucks, but we'll see.
I would recommend it because I am going to be working karaoke in a costume contest at a local pub. So
I think me and the boy are going to. He's got his costume. He's going to be Vector from Despicable Me.
Okay.
If you're familiar with this character,
nope.
The costume is fucking hysterical. I'm going to take pictures of it when he puts it on. I mean, it's an orange jumpsuit, a really outrageous high collared orange jumpsuit, glasses, and this bowl cut wig like Mo from the Three Stooges.
Oh, geez.
It's wild.
I'm not familiar.
It's very funny. And he put it on the other day, and we were both just standing in the mirror laughing our asses off. So him and I are going to go out and trick or treat a little bit. I think we're going to hit a haunted house to cap Halloween off.
Nice.
Maybe I'll stop in here after I'm done and talk to you crazies out there in Halloween land.
Yeah, if you guys wanted to do a stream, like a game stream or something, have at it. I mean, I'll be at work. But
you guys know my tradition. I'll be rewatching the original Halloween once again because we watch it every Halloween night. So
it's on the big screen here too, and it's like 6:30 every day. 6:30 at 9.
6.
It was 6 last one.
Mm-hmm. All right. Gang, that is going to wrap it up, I think, for us. Next week, we still have no plans for what's going on. So once we have something booked, we will let you know.
This is November 4th. So, yes.
Right. I double-checked. Yeah, but you want to talk about
I got an idea. I'll tell you in a minute.
Okay. Well, if you want to talk about the 11th, you can talk about that.
Yes, we can talk about the 11th. It is
November 11th.
November 11th. So 2 weeks from tonight, we will be welcoming. This has been a long time coming. We've been cooking this one up. The band, local Detroit rock / soundtrack creators, Voyager, will be joining us. And we're going to get into their whole thing. Lately, they've been writing soundtracks for fucking independent movies. And this is something, if they're very much inspired by Carpenter, and they're very much inspired by Manfredini and all these guys that did these horror soundtracks over the years. They're our age. So
Manfredini?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Really?
I've got their first one, Doom Patrol, and it's just an original soundtrack as if you were watching a movie. Think of it that way.
Right.
But it's very cool, man. But the last one they did was called New York Ninja, and they have a brand new movie coming out, and bear with me, it's called Killer Cabbage, KK, and they did the soundtrack for this one too. But these guys are they got backgrounds and shit. Like, I know the drummer personally, Greg, and he's a superb death metal drummer. I mean, outstanding, crazy, good. But
and that's the guy we ran into at Motor City Nightmares, right? And ended up talking to for like 90 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I said. We got into it there, and I'm all like, listen, we got to save this for the show, man. We got all this. It'll be easy to kill 2 hours. I mean, we may not say a word the whole time. That's how these guys like to talk. But they're fascinating dudes, and I think you guys will dig getting to know some local Detroit musicians that are kind of on their way into something here, man. So almost like the Goblin back in the day was, for writing soundtracks and everything. We'll see.
Tarek, appreciate the idea, but no. No.
We are supposed to compare. No.
What does he want? I didn't click.
I'm not even going to read it out loud.
That's not.
You'll see it later.
There's a lot of comments in there.
There's a lot of comments. All right. Colonel?
Yes.
Wrap it up?
That's a wrap. No, sorry. I'm trying to calm myself down. No, thanks for joining us tonight. This was really fun. I'll be honest. I'm surprised at how high Crank scored Rob Zombie's Halloween. That's the shocker of the night. If I was to put money on it, I would have said he'd give it like a 6 at the most. Everything else kind of played out the way I thought. So that was fun. I look forward to the next original versus remake next month.
It's scheduled too.
It's scheduled.
It's scheduled. I know because I picked the date. Well, it isn't next month. Technically, it's
December.
December, first Monday of December.
Yeah.
For a very good reason, and you'll find out there. I'm pulling a Zag. I'm fucking teasing some shit that's way the fuck out. You're not going to want to miss this one because after what Zag said tonight, I might have a few things to say.
We might be fighting.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
No.
There might be some fighting. Faze, say your piece, sir.
Yeah, it was a fun show, man. A good old original versus remake. Sometimes we're all on the same page. Sometimes we're not. This time we were on the same page, but we still had a great time with it.
Mostly.
Still a lot of differing opinions.
Yeah.
It was
Like
fun.
I said, we all like it for different kind of reasons and shit.
Yes.
So.
And of course, to everyone out there, happy Halloween. And to any pagans out there, happy Samhain, as they say.
You.
The French.
Thank you.
Celtics, more like, but it's cool.
Oh boy. Yep. Thanks for tuning in, guys. One last time, thanks to our final girls and guys, Christy, C-Phase, Lorena, BD, Alex, and Robert, our crazy Ralphs, Bella's Fancy Creations, Dr. Smiley, Raymond, and the whole damn enchilada pod. And of course, to our camp counselors, Adam, Corey, Christy, Luke, Jimmy and Rachel, Stacy Lynn, Orlando, Chuck, Sheck, Dave, Patricia, Kristen, and JJ. Become a member at the Death Curse Society website, deathcursesociety.com. Head on over to the membership page. And, of course, thanks to our associate producer, Faze, tell your friends to come and join us on Mondays. And, like I said, don't know what we're talking about next week yet, but we'll figure something out and let you know.
An idea.
ASAP. So,
ideas.
Hey, I didn't get to wrap up my last little thing on it either. I'm just saying.
I thought you did.
No. Just I had a thought real quick. Just remember how we kind of went with Halloween 2018 and repeated viewings didn't really help it. Kind of the opposite with Zombies Halloween. That's what I want to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would agree.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Because it has grown on me over the years, and I've been able to kind of look at it as a movie of its time, same as 78 is a movie of its time. But the 78 one, I think, can be enjoyed for all time. But that's just me.
It's like even the clothing isn't too outrageous. You know what I mean? It's kind of, Lori's clothes are a little bit goofy, but
It's okay.
Hey,
You know,
she's
like some
buying
of
a
that
Jason Penny for $100. You leave her alone.
it's like her own real shit.
We'll catch you next week, guys. Have a happy Halloween. Be safe out there. And that's it. Woo!
Just in the middle of a dream.
there, you motherfucker. Say one more goddamn time.